So, Secretary Hegseth, given the rise in anti-Semitic violence, hate crimes in our nation, and to show that the Trump administration, your administration, does have a zero-tolerance policy for anti-Semitism, will you dismiss Ms. Kingsley from her role as a U.S. military spokesperson today, yes or no?
Again, that's why I referenced the context and characterization.
Well, we'll send you the quote,
I've worked
sir.
directly with her. She does a fantastic job, and there's any suggestion that I or her or others are party to anti-Semitism is a mischaracterization attempting to win political points.
Sir, and I'm going to
Senator,
say
you're attempting to win political points on the backs of mischaracterizing the statements of a member of my department, and I'm not going to stand for that.
You are not a serious person. You are not serious about rooting out, fighting anti-Semitism within the ranks of our DOD. It's despicable. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to move on to General Hawk. The sudden inexplicable dismissal of General Hawk.
What unfolded between Senator Jacky Rosen and Secretary Pete Hegseth wasn't just tension. It was a revealing collision between accountability, accusations of extremism inside government ranks, and the growing shadow of social media influence on national security decisions. And if you thought this was just another partisan flare-up, think again, because the stakes in this moment were very real. Who shapes the Pentagon's decisions, and whether hateful ideology or online agitators are quietly steering the wheel.
Senator Rosen, you were recognized. I thought I would just create a stir down there.
No, I thank you to my seatmates on both sides. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We take care of each other. And again, thank you, Chairman Wicker, Ranking Member Reed, for holding this hearing. Mr. Secretary, we have a short amount of time, so I'm just going to ask a few simple questions, and I would just appreciate if for some of them, you would just answer yes or no. And so, Secretary Hegseth, would you agree that every senior official in the Department of Defense must reflect the values and conduct that our service members must uphold and our citizens expect?
Senator, we want to uphold the highest possible standards.
I'll take that for a yes. So would you also agree, then, that anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories have no place in our government or military? Yes or no?
They should not.
Thank you. So would you also agree that anyone who has posted, and I'm going to quote, anti-Semitic conspiracy theories lifted right out of a neo-Nazi playbook, end quote, shouldn't be anywhere near a position of power? Yes or no?
Since I don't believe the characterization of many officials in the news media, I would need to see precisely what's being characterized.
But generally, would you not say that if
generally
we
speaking,
thought something
sure.
was coming out of a neo-Nazi playbook, it doesn't have any place in our Department of Defense? Now, Secretary Hegseth, the quote that I just read you was referencing Ms. Kingsley Wilson, the DOD press secretary. It's a direct quote from her, who my Republican colleagues on this committee have also expressed alarm over due to her comments. In fact, one colleague said, and I'm going to quote again, obviously I don't agree with her comments. I trust the Pentagon will address this, end quote. However, in the months since, not only have you not addressed these anti-Semitic comments, you have promoted Ms. Wilson. This seems to be at odds, honestly, with President Trump's commitment, very public commitment to combat anti-Semitism, which you just said you two agreed with. So, Secretary Hegseth, given the rise in anti-Semitic violence, hate crimes in our nation, and to show that the Trump administration, your administration, does have a zero-tolerance policy for anti-Semitism, will you dismiss Ms. Kingsley from her role as a U.S. military spokesperson today, yes or no?
Again, that's why I referenced the context and characterization.
Well, we'll send you the quote,
I've worked
sir.
directly with her. She does a fantastic job, and there's any suggestion that I or her or others are party to anti-Semitism is a mischaracterization attempting to win political points.
Sir, and I'm going to say
Senator,
that
you're
your
attempting to win political points on the backs of mischaracterizing the statements of a member of my department, and I'm not going to stand for that.
You are not a serious person. You are not serious about rooting out, fighting anti-Semitism within the ranks of our DOD. It's despicable. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to move on to General Hawk. The sudden inexplicable dismissal of General Hawk. He serves both Director of the National Security Agency, Commander of U.S. Cybercom. It's deeply concerning, raises significant questions about the decision-making process, its potential consequences. Public reports indicate that the removal of General Hawk, who has served his country proudly, has been influenced by social media influencer, a personality on social media, Laura Loomer, spreads conspiracy theories. She's been denounced even by Republicans. And the idea is that any leaders within our agencies responsible for our nation's security, somebody would be dismissed based on the advice of a social media influencer is alarming, to say the least. It's surely not how we should be running our military. So were you consulted regarding General Hawk's dismissal, yes or no?
Well, Senator, I would not advise believing everything you read in the media.
Were you,
and I'm
were you
consulted on every single decision.
Okay,
I'm the
so that's
decision maker
alarming.
for the
It's your
department, and we all
department,
serve
Mr.
at the pleasure
Okay.
of the president.
Okay.
And
So
we have
what
the
was your-
prerogative to
what
make
was
those
your
decisions
what
for
was
the
your
best for the
recommendation?
country,
Did you
and we did
personally
that.
approve Mr. Hawk's dismissal, yes or no?
Anyone coming or going
Personally
at the
approve
Defense
it.
Department, especially at that level, would ultimately be a decision
So
made by
that's a
me,
yes.
and I stand
Did you personally
behind that.
relieve him?
Excuse
Did
me?
you personally relieve him? Yes or
Anyone
no?
at that level
You did,
who is
so that's a
relieved
yes.
would be relieved by the Secretary of Defense.
Was there a specific justification for General Hawk's dismissal? Was there a specific justification for General Hawk's dismissal?
Ma'am, we all serve at the pleasure of the president, and the president deserves the
Is
type
it
of
true?
commanders and advisors that he thinks will best
Did you
equip him
discuss General
to
Hawk's
accomplish the
dismissal with
mission.
Laura Loomer prior to his removal?
I don't discuss who I talk about anything with, but ultimately this is my decision, and he serves at the pleasure of the president, and that's why he's no longer there.
So do you believe it's appropriate for any social media personality to influence personnel decisions in your department, yes or no?
I believe your time is up, Senator.
Oh, it is not up to you to tell me when my time is up.
Well, the time
And I am
of the
going to say,
senator.
Mr. Secretary, you're either feckless or complicit. You're not in control of your department. This is unserious. It is shocking. You're not combating anti-Semitism within your ranks. It's a dangerous and pivotal time in our nation's history. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back. And I don't appreciate the smirk, sir. You are the Secretary of Defense.
The time of the gentlelady has expired.
Senator Rosen begins with what should have been softballs, simple yes or no questions that test the foundational values of the Defense Department. Should senior officials reflect the values of the service members they command? Should anti-Semitism have any place in the U.S. military? Should neo-Nazi-style conspiracy theories automatically disqualify someone from wielding government influence? On paper, these should be effortless answers. But Hegseth doesn't give clean yeses. He hesitates, reframes, deflects. And that hesitation is what sets off the first spark. Because Rosen's not asking hypotheticals. She's referencing the Pentagon's own spokesperson, Kingsley Wilson. Her past social posts, described by multiple lawmakers on both sides of the aisle as echoing neo-Nazi rhetoric, should have triggered disciplinary review. Instead, Hegseth promoted her. That clash, Rosen insisting on accountability, Hegseth accusing her of scoring political points, is the moment the hearing stops being procedural and becomes personal. He calls her characterization despicable. She fires back, "You are not a serious person." What started as oversight becomes a confrontation about credibility, judgment, and who exactly is being protected inside the Department of Defense. But the tension doesn't end there, because Senator Rosen then turns to something even more alarming, the sudden dismissal of General Hawk, the head of U.S. Cyber Command and NSA director, a position where stability isn't optional, it's crucial to national security. Reports suggest the dismissal may have been influenced by far-right influencer Laura Loomer, someone known for conspiracy theories and for publicly attacking the general. For a Pentagon leader to entertain input from online agitators would be shocking. For personnel decisions to reflect it, unthinkable. Rosen asks Hegseth directly, was Loomer consulted? Were you influenced by online pressure? Do you think social media personalities should shape Pentagon staffing? Hegseth refuses to answer, repeatedly. The more she presses, the tighter he holds the line. I don't discuss who I talk to. Everyone serves at the pleasure of the president. I make all decisions. But to Rosen, the refusal itself reveals everything. It signals a lack of transparency, or worse, a lack of control. In the senator's view, either Hegseth is making reckless decisions, or someone else is making them for him. By the time her microphone time runs out, she's no longer speaking like a senator questioning a witness. She's speaking like someone sounding the alarm about a system in danger. You're either feckless or complicit. You're not in control of your department. This is shocking. And then the closing blow as Hegseth smirks under pressure. I don't appreciate the smirk, sir. You are the Secretary of Defense. A moment that encapsulates everything, the frustration, the stakes, the disbelief. This wasn't just a clash of personalities, it was a clash over the soul of government leadership. How do extremist ideas slip into power? Who really pulls strings behind military decisions? And at what point does accountability get replaced by defensiveness? These are the questions moments like this force us to confront. But what do you think? Was Rosen exposing something real, or was this political theater? Should social media figures ever play a role in national security decisions? And what does Hegseth's reaction say about the direction of the Pentagon today? Drop your thoughts below. I'm really curious where you stand on this one. And if you're locked in for more breakdowns like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next deep dive.